It is still hard to believe at this hour. Welcome back to GMA3. Many are still reeling from the loss of that man right there who danced with so much joy, had so much joy in his spirit, his heart, everything. The news that Stephen Twitch Boss, the beloved hip-hop dancer, best known for So You Think You Can Dance and his work as the DJ on Ellen DeGeneres.
And his wife, Allison, released a heartbreaking statement saying, "My husband, Stephen, has left us. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans." We want to bring in Dr. Jeff Gardere, a well-known clinical psychologist, to talk about this. And this is just so shocking for so many. But I know news like this can be especially triggering to people who have lost someone to suicide or maybe having depressive thoughts themselves. How can we even begin to process something like this?
Well, first of all, of course, condolences to Twitch's family. But certainly, I think this is a motivator for all of us to understand that the picture that we're presented is not always what's going on with someone. There is no face for depression or some other mental health challenge, and those are the things that usually lead to some sort of suicidal ideation, as you know, Dr. Jen, or even some sort of a suicide attempt. So this is a motivator for all of us to really reach out to friends and family who we suspect something may be going on and taking their situation in a very serious way.
Yeah, speaking of Dr. Jen, you actually lost your ex-husband to suicide. How does one even begin to heal? The bigger question is always why? And it's almost like you're left with that question for the rest of your life.
Well, when we lost Rob to suicide, and he was a doctor, he was a surgeon, and it really came out of the blue for us, my children and I immediately sought professional help, literally within 24 hours. And the way that we looked at that is, if we had been in a car accident, we would be in an emergency room. And we had suffered a severe psychological trauma, and we luckily had access and were already connected to a psychologist and a therapist. That is a part of the rest of our lives, that type of mental health kind of care. I think what we learned, and by the way, we're still learning it, because the people who are left behind when they lose a loved one to suicide, every single day it's with us. And there's a process of healing that's not linear. There's ups and downs, as Dr. Gardere knows. And there are days that, you can feel like the strongest person in the world, and there are days that you feel completely shattered and cracked. But we have tried to channel our healing and our recovery into one that involves post-traumatic growth, which means having a better appreciation and sensitivity and awareness for everything in the way we live, and doing so in a way that honors Rob's memory.
Yeah, when you think of your ex-husband and you think of Twitch, I'm thinking about men. Does it impact men more than women? Because, a lot of times we're raised, tough it up, don't cry, we don't want to go see a therapist, we don't want to talk about it because it makes you appear to be weak. And you see Twitch, who had a beautiful wife, beautiful family, a great career, beautiful home, and then this.
Well, men use more lethal means, as we saw with Twitch. So having firearms available is just a really bad thing. As we know, women tend to be able to talk about their feelings and emotions. Men feel that, being a tough person, being masculine, that toxic masculinity, we don't talk about it, and it festers inside. So we see men are much more successful at the suicide, though women make more suicide attempts, but are able to get the attention that they need.
But you guys, I think the really important thing, in medical school, we are trained to ask someone, and Dr. Gardere can attest to this, are you having thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else? And if you ask someone that question just like that, and they tell you yes, that is a medical emergency.
That's
you should not leave that person alone. You should tell them that you are hearing their pain. There's help available. They don't have to go through this alone. And you should fill the boat, as I say in medicine. Get people to help you help that person, but knowing that they're not alone and that their pain does have an end and it's only temporary, that they will get through this, is really important. But that person needs to be in a safe place, and sometimes that's an emergency.
Validate and respond right away. Know some of those hidden signs that they may be giving things away, that they have some aggression, that they are crying, that they've had an attempt before. All of those things, you have to jump on that. Thank you for saying that, Dr.
And Doctor, one of the things I think a lot of us feel like by asking, maybe we're giving them the idea, and we don't want to do that. Can you talk about how just simply asking someone is not going to make them
right? Mental health professionals have debunked that particular notion a long time ago. You have to ask, what are you feeling? What's going on? Do you think you may want to hurt yourself or others? You ask it. Sometimes you're validating. They want you to know, but are afraid to say it.
Oh, thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure to see you again. Sorry under these circumstances, but I think people need to hear it more and more.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. And if you are struggling with thoughts of suicide, please text or call the crisis line at any time. 988 is the number. It is free and it is available 24/7.
Bottom line, get help.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.